Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Shad, and today is not going to be a happy video at all. You can see right now the game that is on my computer monitor is the Nuggets versus Pelicans. It is 113 to 110. There is a timeout that's been called and there is 3.5 minutes left in this game. So what exactly am I going to rant about today? I don't fucking know. As natural order goes on this channel, we are going to dissect it section by section, and this is going to be probably my least edited video because I seriously don't know what the fuck is going on with this team. I do, but I don't. Anyway, our defense is god awful. I have been, for the past several weeks, I have been trying to justify it in my head by saying, oh, we have no backline help, so the perimeter defenders have to sell out a lot and play out of position a lot. And that leads to a lot of rotations, that leads to a lot of 4-on-5 situations for the other team, stuff like that. I can no longer justify anything defensively for this team. What I was saying wasn't even really a justification. It was just something that we have seen in the league before, right? People having to sell out on the perimeter because if they let their guy by them, it's an easy 2 points at the rim. That is the situation with the Nuggets this year. And also the situation with the Nuggets this year is the fact that we're just letting anyone shoot the fucking ball. Everyone's getting open 3-point shots. We're selling out on our contests. We're getting up in the air on simple pump fakes. Because we have some cones on the team, that's bad. I mentioned in the Warriors video, the Mile High matchup, I talked about how in the playoff series last season, they got us scrambling a lot. And I also mentioned that it wasn't a personal choice. They moved that ball around a lot and they got us scrambling. I now feel like this is a personal choice. Maybe it's because of lack of personnel. Maybe it's because of lack of effort. Maybe it's because of just bad defensive scheming. Maybe it's because of low defensive IQ from some of our guys. I don't know what it is, but the defensive acquisitions that we made have not translated to what we are supposed to be. I didn't even mention the interior defense worries like in the preseason because I wasn't thinking about that. I saw two really good defenders come onto the team. I'm like, all right, we got a little bit more defense and we are going to be like around a top 10 type defense. That's my fault, first of all, for misleading the masses, and also just saying something in hindsight that is so totally wrong. We can't defend a goddamn thing. And I just put a tweet out like a few minutes ago before recording this video. I was talking about how last game against the Hawks, it was AJ Griffin who went off for 24 or 26 points against us on 60+% shooting from the field. This game, while it is still on and we are down 15, by the way, still, a minute has passed and we haven't closed the deficit at all. Oh, sorry, we just scored. It's a 13-point game now. Let's see, Jose Alvarado. Oh, it got worse. I didn't look at the box score because I was upset and didn't want to. That would have been bad for my mental health. I think recording this video is probably bad for my mental health as well. But Jose Alvarado, in 25 minutes of action off of the bench, 36 points on 12 of 17 from the field and 8 of 11 from three. In a game where Zion is on the floor for the other team, in a game where CJ McCollum is on the floor for the other team, we managed to let Jose Alvarado be the best player on the squad. And it hurts. But I kind of want to preface all of this retroactively by saying that I'm not... Actually, no, I can't even say that anymore. I'm kind of dooming our season because if we keep on this pace and keep this exact same roster with very minimal changes, we are looking at a second round exit again. Maximum. I get some comments on Twitter or in the YouTube comments talking about, it's still early in the season. Like, we need to not overreact. There's certain things that, change with time. And while I do agree with that, we are now over 20 games into the season. We are over a quarter of the way through the season, and our bad habits from the start of it have continued. The things I was talking about when I said we're a tier 2 team in that video, if you remember, these aren't things that just like, oh, all of a sudden because 20 games passed, we're there, right? But it looks like we're not going to have that sort of flip that the Mavs and the Celtics had last year. So this is the roster that we're working with for the moment, and it's not good enough. It's not. We can be 14-9 all we want. We can be top 3 in the West all we want. The West is weaker this year. The East is where it's at. The East is where all the heavy comp is. We shouldn't be losing to an Atlanta Hawks team without Trae Young. We shouldn't be losing to the Pistons in general, but also without Cade Cunningham. I want to say we shouldn't be losing to the Pelicans without Brandon Ingram. But the team itself is really good. They're top 10 in offense, top 10 in defense this season. They're playing phenomenally. And by the way, Brandon Ingram didn't play. And I also tweeted like, this would be a more terrifying game had Brandon Ingram played. And that's saying a lot because we are down by 16 and gave up 120. Plus, Jose Alvarado scored again, by the way. He has 38. We're about to give up a 40 bomb to Jose Alvarado. Our bench. Oh my God. Yeah, I almost forgot where I wanted to go with this video as well. The fucking bench is awful. It's disgusting how bad our bench is when Bones isn't performing at his absolute peak. They have scored how many points this game? The last I checked, it was 13 points from the bench. We got 3 from Devon Reed, who is still getting minutes over Christian Brown. Oh, by the way, Christian Brown is not playing. DeAndre Jordan has 5 points. Ish Smith has 8 points off the bench. So what is that? 11 plus 5, that's 16 points off the bench. Compared to the New Orleans Pelicans, who have 61 bench points. I don't like being mad. I don't like being stressed out when I watch basketball games. I don't like seeing my team not give effort for more than 24 minutes a game. When Bones isn't active or when Bones isn't playing well, who the hell are we going to off the bench? It's not Vlatko. Bruce Brown is in the starting lineup right now because our third highest paid guy can't stay healthy. He's hurt with a heel strain right now. And this isn't me like trying to put blame on him. He's just been hurt. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. The guy is always hurt. We just came off a 4-game win streak. So we were playing some good basketball before that. But also our schedule isn't the hardest at all, which also worries me because when we're faced up against these monsters in the Western Conference that when playoff time rolls around, they lock the fuck in. They gonna lock us the fuck out. Because what the hell are we gonna do to stop anybody right now? We're giving up 113. Well, it's gonna be higher after this game, but we're giving up 113 points a night. It's very, very unacceptable because we have hung our hat on having such an elite offense for so long that it just comes down to, oh, we'll just outscore them. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. This roster, as currently constructed, is a first or second round exit. The Pelicans have showed and pinpointed our weaknesses and now know how to beat us convincingly. But yeah, the game just ended, by the way, 121 to 106. Jamal Murray finished with 18 points on 6 of 17 shooting, so that's fun. Aaron Gordon did his usual efficient thing, 19 and 8 on 7 of 10. Bruce Brown had a decent game. He had 4 turnovers and 4 fouls though, so how decent was it? And he was also a minus 10, however much weight you put into that sort of stat. And Jokic was also a plus, and KCP was a plus, even though he shot 2 for 8. I don't know where the rest of this video can even go. We have issues at too many different levels at the moment. And I think a lot of people, Nuggets fans specifically, get complacent. And I think Nuggets organization gets complacent. Jokic has made this organization get complacent. One guy has kept so many people with jobs. Point blank, period. I can't keep looking at these games where we're up 12. We were up 12, by the way, against the Pelicans, and we lost by 14. Sorry, 15. That cannot keep happening. This whole blown lead shit as soon as Jokic sits the fuck down, we didn't learn from last year? We didn't say, hey, there's a very popular stat and narrative going around that when Jokic sits down, our bench and our team is historically awful. No one in that front office looked at that and said, all right, let's bolster the bench. We got Bruce Brown, who is one piece to our bench. Nuggets fans, stop getting complacent. Stop letting this team, this organization just get away with coasting. Malone has said it. We play up, we play down to our opponents. We never play it at what we want to do. Not necessarily like all the way totally like, oh, we're just playing how the other team wants to play. We don't play Nuggets basketball every single game. A lot of the times we let a lot of other teams dictate the flow of the game, and then we fall into it, and then we get down, and then we lose leads, and then we lose games. That's a little mini rant. That'll probably be my last one of the year because I don't like doing these videos at all. But I just felt like it got to a point where I had way too many thoughts about this team in a negative light that I just couldn't, they couldn't stay in me anymore. They had to get out somewhere. Hopefully I'm not the only one that's like going crazy about this right now. We don't look like a championship team. We barely look like a fucking Western Conference team, if we want to be real. As of this moment, we have we have very low, we have very, very low postseason hopes for a deep run. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to roast me, but like, if someone has a problem with that, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to stick by that because we do not look great. We look good. We look better than a lot of the field, but we, as a team, are not that great. And when it comes down to a 7-game series where everything is on the line and teams are playing for their literal season with nothing to lose besides a championship, and we're just going to have to hope that our team does the same. Again, 14-9, we're 23 games into the season. Take this reaction how you will, but I'm very disappointed in this team right now. It's a 3-game losing streak. They're not going to lose forever. They're not going to lose out the rest of the season. We'll be all right. And I think that's the issue. Because ultimately, in the regular season, we can get away with having a shit defense as long as we just score. That's not going to happen in the playoffs. Let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all.